Hey yo, he is crazy. Nah, I'm not doing that type John. I'm not doing that type John. Not at all, bro. Not at all, bro. Yo, welcome back to my second episode, EDC podcast, bro. The last John. Let me expound a little bit. You right into it. You right into it. The last John.
First episode.
That was not how the first episode was supposed to run, yo. But when I tell y'all, I was really upset about that show me and Satira was binging. Like, we in that stage now. I wouldn't even call it a stage or not like that. Satira's just like, she binges a lot of shows to not watch them. Like, she really don't watch these Johns. She just be binging them, falling asleep type stuff. So, I'm in that pocket now where it's like I'll just be watching what she watching if I run into it and it look a little interesting or whatever the case is. Because other than that, I'm watching, the only TV I watch is like sports or like if I'm binging an anime or something like that. I don't really watch TV like live action TV like that. Um, but yeah, so that's the only reason that John went like that, because I was really upset about it, bro.
Upset, but like,
Let me lay out this podcast for y'all. So again, I'm Ian, aka You Don't Care. I had my previous podcast with my boys. We was doing Breath Talk, which is fairly like chilling. Like, that was a nice job.
I wish we could still be doing it, but
You know what I'm saying? People,
hold on, y'all. Mindsets were just, splitting, going different ways.
splitting, going different ways and whatnot. So like, I was just like, yeah, I know I wanted to be in this world of podcasting. I know I wanted to be involved in it any way I could. Either that's just editing somebody else's or not waiting for that opportunity, just doing my own John. So we here with that, man. It's just basically all of my thoughts and stuff like that. I'll be looking out for topics like that. I wanted to have my fiance Satara and his John just being like the rebound wall, if anything, because she don't really want to do it. Just to be there. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing my stupid face ideas out of this John, but you know what I'm saying? Don't all go that way. So we back with another episode. We got some topics going on. I've been recently let me mute this. I've been recently debating rather with my boys.
Let me pull this joint up. We've been debating on like
This is a hot topic for me, so bear with me if you will. We've been recently debating on your boy Superman. It's been argued, and it's gonna be a real quick joint. This ain't we about to flow into this for a long time. It's been argued by me that Superman, I wouldn't consider him a person with superpowers. In a sense, this may turn into an argument of semantic type, John. Look at it any way you want, but hear me out, because this is what happened. I'm gonna lay out the whole story for y'all. So I'm at work. Me and my boys at work. We usually talk about stuff like we be talking about anime stuff, like superhero stuff like that, anything like that, just passing the time through. My boy at work. We doing these questions like, and I actually want to throw some of these questions in here. Just not going off top. I want to throw some would you rather's or what would you do's in here, because I just feel like that's always a good topic, man. It's always a good John, because I'm a fan of people's like thought process, and I'm down to debate any thought you have. Like, especially if I don't agree with it, of course I'm down to debate it. But even if I do, I'm always on the other side. Like, well, what if? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that didn't happen? You know what I mean? Like, of course you keep both your legs, but if you had to lose both of them Johns, you know what I'm saying? What we rocking with? You know what I mean? That's what I be on sometimes. But back to the Superman, John. It's been argued because we was on a Would You Rather, like I said, and the question was like, I believe the question still on the line is of, what would you do if you had one wish? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got one wish. Of course, we had to like cancel out the wish of, I want a million more wishes. I want infinity wishes. You know what I'm saying? We canceled that out because it's like that's universal law. Like, you got one wish, you can't ask for more of them, Jones. I mean, that's too easy. That's the easy way out. That's the chump's way out. So like, we canceled that out. So my boy, he basically was just like, yo, I want Superman. I want all Superman powers. You know what I mean? And no kryptonite. You mean so? This is where this. If you already can think ahead, this is where the hot topic became like this. Where it became a hot topic because it's like I'm like, all right, you got Superman stuff. He don't really got powers though. Like Superman don't have. I'm like that's what I said to him. I'm like Superman really don't have powers honestly. Like he's just Kryptonian. You mean so like if you got his abilities, like because you're Kryptonian. You know what I'm saying? You got his abilities by default. Kryptonite gotta exist. This is what I said. This was argued by me. If you got Superman abilities because you're like Superman, by default, Kryptonite exists. So his whole mindset was like, yeah, I got Superman powers. Doing whatever I want. No kryptonite out here. It ain't nothing like that going on around this joint. Like, I don't know, brother. Like, you guys, if you like Superman, kryptonite got to be somewhere in there. Somewhere around. Pick somebody, otherwise pick somebody else. But it didn't end there. This is where the argument came at because it's like, he basically stood up and was like, nah, Superman do got superpowers. He do. He got superpowers. He got superpowers because he's better. His powers gives him stuff that we can't do. That was his whole argument. His powers give him abilities that we don't have. That's why he's super. My argument, straight up, and I stand by it to this day. I wish he was there to argument. And I asked him. I told him I was going to do this on the pod. I told him I was going to say his point. And I was going to represent him well. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to misrepresent him. I'm going to say his words verbatim. You know what I'm saying? Because I said my line. I said, nah, because he's Kryptonian, his abilities is strictly off of his species. Meaning this. I'll further explain for y'all. Meaning, if all humans had the ability to run 90 miles per hour, just a God-given right, just because that's where our species evolved to. So you born, it's the normal now that you're able to run 90 miles per hour. Because that's what your species do. That's what your species does. You run 90 miles per hour. Are you super for being able to run 90 miles per hour? Absolutely not. So Superman, he's comparing Superman to the human race because the human race can't lift a building with their bare hands. The human race can't run around the planet in less than 10 minutes. The human race can't fly at all. You know what I'm saying? The human race don't got different types of vision going on. The human race isn't indestructible. You mean the human race ain't none of them things that Superman is. So for him, he's saying like, nah, bro. He's super compared to humans. And I'm like, off the standpoint of you compare them to humans, we already done talking. Because I would never compare Superman to humans. He's Kryptonian from the rip. From the rip. If the whole planet of Krypton came down to the planet Earth with our yellow sun and everything, theoretically they would all have those abilities. Because they're all Kryptonian. You get what I'm saying? So if a human was to go, let's say we go to Pluto. You know what I'm saying? We go to Pluto, and for whatever reason, humans on Pluto, we could detach our limbs and shoot them like rockets, and they come back to us and all that. We got all that. Do we now have superpowers? I don't think so. It stands on the point of if we can do that because we're humans. Or if that planet just gave that one person that ridiculous superhuman ability. That's what it stands from my perspective. Now y'all do whatever y'all want with that info because when I say we still at odds about that whole topic, even though people have been on my side, I'm not lying here. I am not lying here. People have been on my side, and he's clenching to his friends for help. They don't want to be on my side just to help him out. But they damn sure ain't on his side. Because they know the truth. You know the truth, man. You know the truth, man. For you to have a superpower, it has to set you ahead of your species. Because it's inhuman. Like, it's not inhuman. It's like, it's supernatural. It's extraordinary. Superman is not extraordinary. Now, I'm not saying he's not like. He probably is the strongest Kryptonian. He could probably be the fastest boy. He could probably have the most heart out of all of them. That would be a separate thing, separating him from his species. But to say that, because he could fly because he's next to the yellow sun, that ain't no superpower. Kryptonians just able to do that. They just able to do that. If you watched, what was it, Invincible? Omni-Man is not. He doesn't have superpowers. Omni-Man does not have superpowers. Not at all. He is an alien. Viltrum, right? He's Viltrum. Whatever it's called. He does not have superpowers. He's an alien. His species evolved to be that broken. Same rules apply to John. On John. What am I talking about? Martian Manhunter. Alien. You know what I'm saying? You want to dig a little farther? E.T. E.T., does he have superpowers? No. He's an alien. Come on, man. Just keep bringing up aliens. We know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Green Lantern doesn't have superpowers. Green Lantern, all his abilities come from the ring. That's the ring's ability. That's the ring's power. I think the only one with superpowers out of the original 7 in the Justice League is the Flash. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Flash. It's the only one with the superpowers. Because he's human and he has a superpower now. He has a power that wasn't given to him for being human, or is not given to him from another object. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually has superpowers in that 7. Let me name out the 7. I'm tripping. So we got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Is he original 7? Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I think so. I want to say Green Arrow's original 7. I can't remember though. But as you can see, only Green Arrow or only the Flash would have the superpowers out of that group. You mean he's the only one that would have the superpowers out of that group? That's insane. Now you want to flip the Marvel side, because we did this. He brought up this argument because we went through a whole thing. It was like 3 hours in one day. Then the next day it was about another 4, because we was really getting into it. So he went over to Marvel and said, "So what about mutants? What about mutants?" And I said, "Mutants." Now, don't jump on my casket when I say this right here, because I don't think it's too much of a stretch from what I was originally saying. Mutants are humans that have superpowers. I would say mutants are humans that have superpowers. Now, if that's, I don't think that's inconsistent from what I've been saying. You know what I mean, with the alien thing. I don't think it's inconsistent, because I'm saying that superpowers are something that separates you from your species, that gives you extraordinary abilities. That's all I'm saying. So mutants are humans, and they are humans because 2 humans have the mutant baby. Regardless they got powers or not, they have a mutant baby. So that baby is a human with a mutant gene, with the X gene. The X gene, which is theoretically in everyone in the Marvel universe. Theoretically in everyone. It's just, is it activated or not? So in that whole world, everyone has an X gene. It's either sleeping or it's not. It's like kind of like herpes, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I had to say it. It's either sleeping or it ain't sleeping. So everyone has that gene in them in that world. So I would classify them as humans with superpowers. Straight up. Unless they came from another planet or something like that, or they just straight up not human. They are humans with superpowers. There's no other way to explain that. No other way. No other way. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you want to go into that world, you have excuse me. You have Magneto and all his babies got powers. Just humans with superpowers. They superpowers are woke. Because in the X-Men world, we all got the X gene, meaning that the human race have a gene in them. It separates you from your race, your power. It's not, and he tried to use the argument of, well, you said all Kryptonians got the same thing, so it should be classified. It should be classified just like the Kryptonians. No, it shouldn't, because it's not that all humans can outrun like Quicksilver. That's not the standard among all humans. The standard is we all have an X gene. Whatever ability you get separates yourself from the rest. That's why it's a superpower. The standard is the X gene. Your abilities, yeah, man, that separates you from the whole game. So you now have a super power. Get out of here, man. Correct me. Y'all go ahead and think about that if y'all want to. Because I know for damn certain what I'm talking about. I know for damn skippy what I'm talking about. Now, if you're just saying, like, the only way his argument works is if I was to say, okay, let's compare Superman to the rest of the living things on the planet. Why would I do that? There makes no sense for me to compare Superman to everybody else on the planet. There's no reason. He's not everybody else. He's a freaking Kryptonian. And I told the young fella, like, this is the whole reason Lex Luthor is upset with Superman from the rip. This is the whole reason this is his whole beef with Superman. His whole beef with Superman, and you know what I'm saying, DC people, correct me if I'm wrong. From what I've seen, his whole beef with Superman is, yo, why are you trying to be the best version of us? You're not even us. You're not even, what are you doing? You're not even us. You are goated. You're a god. Why are you trying to be the best of us? That don't even make sense to me. And Superman's just like, hey man, I'm one of the boys. I want to save lives. I want to do whatever I can to make this world right. And Lex is like, brother, you ain't even us. This ain't your problem. You need to be holding the world in the palm of your hand. That's Lex's beef with Superman. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all can listen, man. Y'all can do all that if you want to. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not that comic-y of a bull. I love to watch. I love the storyline. I ain't doing the history search up. But from what I've seen so far, that's been the laid down dirty truth of why Lex Luthor don't like Superman. That's been what it is. So for all that, I mean, you take that what you will. You take that with what you will. I mean,
nothing crazy about it. Let me see what else we got in the junk, cause like,
I just had to get that off because
that pissed me off for a couple days now. We got a question from Dot. Hold on. I ain't gonna skip that. We got a question from Dev first, and then we got a question from Dot. So Dev
asks, is Melo first ballot Hall of Famer? Let me tell you right now. If Carmelo Anthony ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer, bro, how can I say this? Before I even get everybody on Rada, because I know it ain't like a interaction type thing. You know what I mean? But if it become an interaction type thing, I ain't gonna care what I say. But I gotta verbiage this right. If Melo isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, even though I know everybody about to say it already is, there should be a lot of people that's not in the Hall of Fame. Melo is better than more than half of Hall of Famers in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Ain't no shame in my game in saying that. Melo is better than more than half of the people in Basketball Hall of Fame. More than half. He's better than more than half of the people that's in there. Off scoring alone, he should be first ballot Hall of Famer. People want to remember Melo for the last few years, which is honestly, that's really kind of unfair. You can't do my man like that. That's really kind of unfair to remember Carmelo for the last few years. One, I feel like the game changed under his feet the most out of everyone other than big men. Game changed under his feet so quick, where it's just like, I don't know if I can really say it's like a crazy shift. It's just more so like the ball that he was playing was just like, bro, it wasn't going to stick with him with his age at that point. Like, he can still shoot the pill, but it wasn't going to be like the Melo that we know from Denver, you know what I'm saying, from his earlier years in New York. Like, it's not that Melo. So, like, I think it just shifted for him, which sucks. But even before that point, before he gets injured in New York, Carmelo Anthony is on his way to the Hall of Fame. He's walking in with no problems asked. God, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Yeah, Melo's walking into the Hall of Fame with no problems asked before he even gets injured in New York. So for damn Skippy, he's a Hall of Famer. For damn Skippy, Melo is a Hall of Famer, bro. Let me see. People going crazy. All right, hold on. Let's go to Doc question. But yeah, I didn't want to skip that. But Dev, yeah, Melo's he's a surefire Hall of Fame from the rip. There ain't even no question about it. Somebody questioned that, they don't know ball from the rip. Not axes the Sixers really about to blow up the team. I'm hurt. I don't know. I'm wearing a dude, John. I'm a Philly fan to the max. Like, you see the Sixers back there. I ain't got no Eagles stuff up, but the Eagles is here. They live hard in this house. Flyers, of course. Phillies. You know what I mean? I was in middle school when the Phillies won. You know what I mean? All day. 2008. I remember that. And the Union. I still want to go to a Union game. I need to get a Union jersey. But to hop back on to the Sixers, let me fix my lips to talk about this, because the goddamn Sixers. Disappointing, bro. Disappointing. When I say it's been like heartache after heartache after drafting 2 number 1 guys. Was it 3? Was it 3 in a row? No. It wasn't in a row. After drafting 2 number 1 guys. It's been tragic, bro. It's been tragic. So let me go all the way back. Matter of fact, let me look it up so I ain't giving y'all faulty info, because I would hate to do that. I would hate to do that. I would hate to give y'all faulty info. So, dang, is this in a row or by year? Okay. All right, sorry about that. So, we going back to, where's Joel at? Where's my man Joe? Here you go. I'm about to say, I know it was 2014. It's like when I graduated. All right. So we're going back to 2014. We draft Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, who started playing ball, I believe was 15 years old. Started playing ball 15 years old. Solid big man. He was cool in college. He was dope in college. You know basketball. You was watching. was like, oh, this big dude, he's nice. He's nasty. Nice in college, right? Draft him. He out 2 years straight. 2 years straight, Joel Embiid is out injured with his back. So Philly off the rip is like, we know Big Ball can move. We know he was tough. But like 2 years, you know what I'm saying? Like he out, his back is broken. 2 years. Back is broken. So Philly already in the you know what I'm saying? We ain't winning nothing right now. We ain't winning nothing. Joel's gone.
So out for 2 years. So we draft Joel. He's good. I'm just getting my timeline set up. That's why I'm gonna keep looking down for you. Just gonna get the timeline set up. Then we pick up the next big dude. Was Jahlil Okafor. Or before that. No. I gotta go back before Joel. I'm sorry. It started with MCW, didn't it? Yeah, because when did Nerlens come in? Nerlens came in. I don't think we drafted Nerlens, did we? No, I don't think we drafted Nerlens. Yeah, the remake started with MCW, but
we all know where that went at. We all know where MCW went at.
You know what I'm saying? That's went out the window. Then we got we was running around with Jeremy Grant in the squad for a while. Joel Embiid out for 2 years. Yeah, the next big pickup, I was right. Next big pickup
was Jahlil Okafor. Solid big dude, running around. We was like, okay, Ja, you going, okay, you filling in, you doing what you doing, you making the point, you know what I mean? But we knew damn well it wasn't gonna carry us to no championship. That type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay, we got something to cheer for in Philly. We got something to cheer for. That's what it was about. Losing seasons. That whole period in time.
Losing.
Then we jump to next big pickup is gonna be Ben Simmons. Now I'll tell y'all right now, you say what you want about Ben. I'm gonna keep it 100 the whole time. I did not initially want Ben Simmons. Initially, I was looking more so on BI because I'm like, BI is a bucket. He is a bona fide bucket. Like, you know that he's going to develop still. You know where he's going. You know, like, oh, he got to get strong. Boy, look like he could break at any moment. He is a bucket. And he's showing it. He's been showing it. Like, this isn't something where we like, oh, it's a projection. No, he's been showing it. He's you know what a bucket look like when you playing ball. That's Brandon Ingram. So in that draft, I'm all like, I'm torn to shreds because I'm like, yo, I'm hitting up BI on Twitter. Yo, man, make sure you get drafted by Philadelphia. We need you over here. Do whatever you got to do. Do whatever you got to do. Get to Philly. We need that. You know what I'm saying? But you already could tell in the town before the draft even happened. You could tell Ben Simmons is coming to Philadelphia. He's going number one. He's that guy. He's 6, and I'm not knocking his game for us to pick him. Like, I'm not knocking us picking Ben Simmons. Like, it was a solid pickup. You know what I mean, during that time, and it was just like I knew, or I felt. Let me say, I don't know nothing. I felt as though the pickup for BI would have been so much more lucrative, and the fact that we kept picking up all these bigs already to just be big made no sense. Picked up all these bigs to just do that. So I'm like, the shooting was already questionable. You know what I mean? Like, the shooting wasn't like, oh, we got this guy, we got that guy, we got this guy. We had all, not 6 men, but all role players. All role players and no guy. We had no guy. And the fact that they was picking up all these dudes and then they was going to pick up Ben with just a bunch of role players, it's like, I mean, I guess they knew they had Joel Embiid in their back pocket, but you still didn't know. Like, he current MVP. You still didn't know he was going to do what he did. Like, he's cooking. Joel Embiid has been cooking. Cooking, man. So, like, I get that you had him in your back pocket, but you still didn't know that, you know what I'm saying? You still drafting big after big. You know what I'm saying? I know we didn't draft Nerlens, but we had Nerlens. You drafted Ja, or you drafted Joe, and then you drafted Ja. And I'm just over here like, we need buckets. We need somebody to get a bucket. You need somebody to run the floor. Somebody who we're confident in that we can stamp with that challenge, with that whole mentality of giving him the ball. Like, bro, even on the lines of a Kyle Lowry, we didn't have that. We didn't have that in Philly. Like in Philly, we had. I'll tell y'all what it felt like in Philly. It felt like in Philly for basketball, we had a good team where it was like, oh, we're tough spirited. We can get it done. I'm gonna tell y'all all right now, and I don't know nothing, but I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about this. I feel as though if you have just that team core, where it's like we got a great core of guys, we got everybody's just gonna fall into play. It's just a wonderful game, wonderful team to be around here. We ain't getting shit done. When it come to ball specifically, let me say that we ain't getting nothing done. You need bucket getters. You need hoopers. You need people that's just about to hoop. Because if you just got the team like that, ain't like even the Spurs system. Like people want to talk about the Spurs system, how the system run everything. The system run that. You need your Kawhis. He's a guy that's going to play. He played in that system perfectly. He's like a puzzle piece. But the boy is a problem. You need your Tim Duncans that's just like a problem. You need your Manu Ginobili that's a problem. You need your Tony Parker that's a problem. I saw something online where they was like some boy was questioning like, is he a Hall of Famer though? What? Tony Parker is a problem. We need like that. Philly didn't have that for the longest time. So like, yes, Ben Simmons could have been, you know what I'm saying, focused more upon like building the team around more. Like we focusing on Joe because Joe is the guy. He's the guy. That's clearly the case. While Ben was here, maybe we should have focused more on like, let's make sure this boy got stuff to work with, because he was the dominant guy with the ball in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Him and Joe had to work together, but you kind of shelved him, not coddling him, but you did kind of shelf him where it came to, well, we got to build more around Joe, making sure that he can work to do whatever the case is. And everybody was just kind of like, I think even Jimmy said it, where it was just like everybody was just not really on the same page, but everybody was just coasting on the team. It was kind of the feeling that they had. So like, as a fan, I felt the same thing, where it was just like, yo, like, we need skill. To bring it back to my point, B.I. was going to be that guy for me. I would have chose B.I. in that draft in a heartbeat. I would have let the world be like, what is wrong with this idiot choosing him over Ben Simmons? I would have let the world say that, as long as I got my bucket. As long as I got my bucket, you can say whatever you want, bro. And I would have let B.I. do whatever he want on the floor. I don't think Brett was a horrible coach either. However, I don't think he's the guy that can coach the bucket getters. I don't think he's the guy that can coach hoopers or anything like that. Now, to jump to, after Joel Embiid, we in process now. We in process with this whole thing. After Joel Embiid, process moves to pick up Ben Simmons. After that, process moves to pick up, I think our next big pick was Lord help me out with this, Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz was the next big pick, and Markelle was cool. And I think he went to Washington. Markelle was cool, but I'm looking at Malik Monk. I'm looking at not necessarily De'Aaron, because De'Aaron wasn't like a shooter per se, so I wasn't really like on that. But Malik Monk was my guy in that draft. We traded up to get Markelle, mind you that. We traded up to get Markelle over Jason Tatum. Who else was in that draft? Hold on, I'm going to look that draft up, because that was insanity. We traded up hats. Jason Tatum. Oh, God. Come on, man. What is wrong with you guys?
swear I've been singing Michael Jackson all day. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been singing Jackson 5, the whole vibe. What the hell is going on here, man? 2017 NBA draft. Here we go. God damn it. Draft selections. Alright, so
Markelle Fultz went number 1 to the 76ers, who we traded up to get. We traded up with Boston to get number 1 pick just to grab Markelle Fultz. To get Markelle Fultz. You know the Boston Celtics got at number 2 right now. And I know people about to be like, oh, it's hindsight, like you had to go off projection and all that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard about Jason Tatum more than I heard about Markelle college. I ain't gonna lie to you. Challenge me on that. I ain't really hear about Markelle when I was looking up college players for that draft. I ain't really hear about him like that. I know he was cooking. I know he was tough. I ain't really hear about him. I ain't hear about him at all. I heard about Malik Monk. I heard about De'Aaron Fox.
You know what I'm saying? These boys. Look, Jason Tatum went number 2. Hold on. What the hell is going on here? Number 2. No, Jason Tatum went number 3. Who went number 2? Cal went number 2.
Lonzo went number 2. That's what it was.
Shit, I'm thinking. Lonzo went number 2. Jason Tatum went number 3. Josh Jackson.
Oh, what happened to Josh Jackson? I ain't heard that brother in a minute.
Josh Jackson went number 4. De'Aaron Fox went number 5. Jonathan Isaac went number 6. Lauri Markkanen. Dennis Smith. Oh, RLP to these names, man. Malik Monk, 11. It's crazy. Donovan at 13. Bam at 14.
List goes on and on. However, we picked up Markelle Fultz. My man hurt his shoulder, something like that. Never shot the ball the same way again. I don't know what the hell happened there. He's in Orlando. He playing fine. You know what I'm saying? He living his truth. He living his life. But he hurt his shoulder. Never shot the ball the same again. It was just all downhill from there mentally. So, I mean, I hope he's doing well. Shouts out to him. But that was just a tragic time in that era, in that space. So that happened with the Sixers, and then after that, he ended up dipping out because of the mental stuff, or whatever the case was. We go to the playoffs twice, back to back. Deep in the playoffs. You're about to go to the Eastern Conference Finals against Toronto, and lucky shot. I can't say lucky shot, but my man traveled to the shot. Hurts me to this day to talk about it. Kawhi Leonard travels to the corner in Toronto. He just got traded to Toronto from San Antonio after his injury and all that. Traveled in the corner to hit a weird ass 3. It hurts my feelings to talk about it, Philadelphia fans. I promise you. Weird 3 he hits to kick us out the playoffs. I'm still going through it. Every time they show the highlight, I'm just like, it is what it is, man. Like, we was hurt, but that's basically what happened. And like, after that, it's just been disappointing, bro. Like, we haven't been able to get back to that type of vibe. We just got back there this year with James Harden on the team, Tyrese Maxey, PJ Tucker, Trez. We have people here. So my whole thing is, in this situation, like, we ended up all the way here at this process point where we have a bona fide superstar in Joel Embiid. We have a superstar that's like, are you still here? In James Harden. We have a young stud in Tyrese Maxey. We have dogs in PJ Tucker, Montrez. Or Trez. I don't even think Trez was playing like that. I think it was Paul Reed for the most part. Paul Reed and I forget Manca's name. But we have dogs. We got people that's playing. Or PJ could have been the only true dog, to be honest with you, on that team. PJ could have been the only true cuz. Even Maxie was kind of disappointing me with like just not wanting to be at these Bulls like that. You know what I'm saying? Like fire and will. So we have this team here, and like I swear to you, it felt like we was been supposed to get them out of here, bro. It felt as though in that last game that we just did not want to play basketball no more. We did want, and the guys that did want to play really didn't have the skill set to do anything about it. It was supposed to fall on James and Joel, or should I say Joel and James, in that order. So like it was supposed to fall on them two boys, and it felt like they wanted no parts of this game. James Harden was snapping a couple games, but then at times it was like it looked like he shied away from it, even though we know he can. He's a bucket, like bro. Literally, we in the crib, like, or I was in Mexico rather, watching Game 7. Like, yo, come on, give me some, give us something. And right now he asking for a trade out. Like, I'm not a trade out. He a free agent. He about to decline his little cheese he was gonna get here, become a free agent and go somewhere else. Like, bro, like that wasn't on us. Like, come on, that's not an us thing. You hold up your deal. You did not hold up your deal. Don't put that on us, man. Like it's something that the team ain't do for you. Now, if he's saying that Doc, oh, you ain't running, you should have ran this joint better. Like you want some weird shit. I would agree with that because I honestly don't think Doc was top material. I think Doc is a great coach. I don't think he was cooking like that to where the other team's going on a 15-point run, 15-0 run, and we just sitting there like, Doc, you should probably use one of them Jones, Chief. We getting body right now. I know that on 2K. Like somebody going on a run, you gotta call that time out just to ice the fire. Even if you ain't got shit to say to your team, you gotta do something just to ice the fire. We need to call them off real fast. Adjustments. It felt like no adjustments was being made. They let Jason Tatum shoot out the night, and then even when they did double, they forgot. Oh, we got JB on the other side. JB, somebody go get JB. We got him on the other side. Somebody go get him over there. So like, I would if James Harden is just saying like, oh, this team's not being ran is like what I thought it was gonna be ran like. I'm out of here. Understand James Harden. But to be like he had no hand in it, it's just like, bro, get out of here, bro. You had the team. You and Joel had the team. Joel won MVP. Congratulations to him. But I feel like we shouldn't have gave it to him if he was gonna quit on us like that. He should have been. If him not winning that was gonna make him more hungry and get us through that Game 7, I would take that joint back from him in a heartbeat. You don't need that, bro. Let me get that, Playboy. You don't need that. Let me get that, Playboy. Because that was just like, bro, it was disappointing to watch. I was. Here's the thing. I was disappointed. I was sunburnt the whole time. It was hurting my body to sit up like this and watch the game. But I propped myself up on a couple pillows just to watch the game. Because I knew that this year was about to be that year the Sixers go to a finals. Because I think we get by the Heat with no problem. This year, I think we get by the Heat with no problem. I think Joel's just monstering his way through Bam and everybody else down there. And James Harden still waking up whenever he can. But they didn't even want to do that against Boston. So, man, to answer your question, I think they blowing this team up. If they don't, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Get a ball player, bro. Get a ball player that's not out of his prime, that's not going to be questionable about quitting. We need somebody that's going to be like, I want to get a bucket right now. Give me the ball. I want a bucket right now. Give me the ball. Even PJ said, like, Joel was trying to shy away from that where it's like, bro, 3 possessions in a row, we're not making shots. So why don't you have the ball in your hand? Get the ball in your hand. Even if they triple team you, you can kick that joint out. But without the ball in your hand, you're being ineffective. We can't, like, there's no way we can have it. I wouldn't be surprised if PJ dipped out after the season. I think PJ is dipping out. I think he's only on a 1-year deal anyway. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just like, this more so my emotions of me speaking on this, but I'm hurt. I hope they blow the team up. Dot. Just to answer that, John, like, because that's like, that's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, but just off those two Johns, like, I don't know, man.
Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. This probably be the last one I talk about just because I actually got to go eat fiance. With the fiance. Let me see that clearly. I got to go eat. So, this is the last one I'm going to talk about. But Dev asked, does Bron getting swept tarnish his legacy? Hell no. I don't think Bron can tarnish his legacy anymore or at all. I want to say that. I don't think he could tarnish his legacy because anything Bron does from this point on is record breaking. Not just record breaking, but like ridiculous. Record breaking in the sense of any shot he makes adds on to his all-time points and scoring. Any game he plays just adds on to his longevity. Any playoff success he has will just be like, yo, he did it again. Any playoff failure he has is just like, yo, he should. It's crazy that he even made it there. And this is not on some like, oh, fanboy LeBron type shit. This is just legit. This is legit. He's like, AD was actually playing this playoffs. They just say, they just say have like enough, I guess. It hurts to say, but that's just the word you're gonna have to say for the Lakers. Like they legit just didn't have enough. It wasn't a better team. They wasn't a better team than Denver. They didn't play bad. I don't think they played bad. I just think that Denver was just a way better team than them. So like the fact is they just really didn't have enough. So the sweep sucks. The sweep really sucks. But there's a few close games where it couldn't have been that. So like the fact that it is a sweep is just like, does that speak to his attrition? Does that speak to his age coming into play? Does that speak to all that? Does that speak to AD not being that guy? Even though he had a couple 40-point games, like AD was snapping. He averaged 27, I think, in that series. Does that speak to that though? Does that speak to Bron just like getting tired of being like Bron? Because he really is broken. Like, if he had anything close to being like abnormal, it got to be mean. Cause like he's like damn near 40, still doing this stuff like at a high level. Like he just said himself, I think Bron is still better than 90% of the league. I truly believe he's still better than 90% of the league at 40. At 40 years old, he's almost damn near 40. At 40, he's better than 90% of the league. So no, I do not think this tarnishes his legacy just because of where he's at in his career. It doesn't tarnish it. Now, if he's still prime Bron and he's getting swept left and right and he's treating this, that would be like kind of tarnishing it a little bit. Like if it's KD getting swept out the gym, or not KD, who's a little younger, who's in that 30 age range. Now teammate AD, yeah. It hurts AD. AD hurts AD. AD hurts AD legacy every time. But Bron, no. I think Bron is secured in everything. So, like, I don't think really nothing can hurt him unless you still, like, if you're still expecting him to be shouldering everything for, like, his squad like he usually does. Like, it's hard to say don't expect that from Bron just because he's Bron. But just, I think it's fair to say anything he does that's achieving greatness like or anything like that at this point on, like, you just tip your hat to it. It's like, bro, it's not supposed to be happening. He's not supposed to be able to keep doing this. He's not supposed to be able to keep doing this. Melo just retired. Bron is the last one out that draft class. And Melo haven't been doing nothing like that for years now. Melo's been like just a solid role player. Not even the past few years, but before the past few years, he's been a solid role player. The last few years, he barely played. Like that's a given at his age and everything. And like, you know what I mean, that's just a given. Bron's really just on some like, you're not supposed to be able to do this, bro. What you on? Like, why you moving like that? Like, what's up? Like, what's up? Because this ain't like you running at the park. Like, if Melo leave right now, he'll still No one's beating Melo at the park running with randoms. No one's doing that. And I'm talking about even high athletic balls. No one's beating Melo at the park. He just can't run the league no more. Bron's still running the league. Over 90% of the balls there. Nothing is going to tarnish his legacy right now. It's weird that he's even still playing. It's weird. Like, bro. It's weird, man. But yeah, that's it. Like, that's all I gotta say about it. Like, no, I don't think nothing tarnishes Bron's legacy. The end of this podcast, I'm just gonna round off, like, because I think I don't know what I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna go with this as far as like, am I gonna be talking to somebody on this joint? Am I gonna try to really beg Terry to be on here with me, even if it's off camera type on a producer type joint? If I'm going to start going live, try to get more reaction with like people that's listening or talking to me and all that. Or if I'm just gonna keep bringing in topics and rattling off like that. Either way, it's fun to just speak my mind and just keep going on like this, because like you don't really get to do it that much. If you do it this much without doing a podcast, you just be talking to yourself. Everybody think you're crazy, but like you put it out to the world, everybody listen to you anyway. So like, call it what you want. Call it what you want, but I actually enjoy doing this, bro. And I'm enjoy cutting it up, doing all that. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing this weekly. I'm just still trying to figure out the actual how I want to say this presentation of it. So like audio stuff getting sent out and everything like that. Where's it going to be shared onto? YouTube stuff will always be going out. That's on my page. I'm always doing that stuff, but like I'm still trying to figure out how to share this stuff out to everything too. So bear with me, but like we gonna keep going on this, bro. I'm having a lot of fun doing these jobs. I'll catch y'all later though.